Hello and welcome to another fun-filled, action-packed episode of Vanderwan Gardens. So, yeah, once again, a word about recycling. So, if ever you've seen anything just kind of tossed by somebody's yard and you're like, you gotta be kidding me, they're throwing that away? These things can be so useful. Like this basin here, it collects rainwater and it feeds it, I use it as a bee feeder as well as a couple of other things. You might have seen a previous video where I used it for when I was harvesting the potatoes. Over here, I've got various pickle jars and three bean salad jars. And you see the bees? She's trying to get some. She's trying to get some of the yummies off of it, but I just poke some holes in there, and I use these to feed the bees. Put them upside down, and they're just pickle jars, right? Or three bean salad jars. You see, I collected a whole bunch of them. This is the real spirit of recycling, I think. Don't stick it in a bin and hope that it makes it to the right place. So today, though, it's November 4th. And the problem that we have on November 4th is, how do we feed the bees? How do we keep them, basically it's a dearth. There's not a whole lot blooming. And how do we get them their sugar? How do we get them their resources so that way they can make honey? So that way they don't eat the honey that's in their, in their hive already. So, you see I've still got a couple of things blooming here. Nearby the hives, I've got the Elysium, and the broccoli is doing awesome. If you can, don't harvest your when you harvest your broccoli, just let it keep growing. You see the bees, they love it. It's the only flower that's still blooming here in November. So the onions are going good, the beets are going good. The bees, they're having a blast. It's 65 degrees out here, even though it's November. So there's my little bird feeder turned into, well, it was a fountain. Now it's just a bee feeder for water. But you see, they're outside. They're having a good old time. So today, we're going to take some other recycled stuff. I got some macaroni salad containers, and I got some Chinese food containers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pouring some sugar, granulated, just normal old granulated sugar. And I buy it in these 25-pound bags now. And I'm going to be feeding them and the top feeders, so that way they don't starve, and so that way they don't start digging into their honey reserves if they can't find stuff to eat out here in the yards. So yeah, so your Chinese food containers, you can put some granularized sugar in here. So I've seen people, you saw that I was using the liquid feeders, where you can use 1-for-1 sugar water or 2-for-1 sugar water. But the thing is that if it freezes, like it's going to do on Tuesday, it's going to get down to 31 degrees. If that sugar water freezes, it'll break the glass, and the glass is basically sitting right on top. Oh, we got a nice barky dog next to us, so we'll be listening to that dog probably for the remainder of this episode here. So you see I got these tie-down straps because while having a cinder block or a brick might work, I don't really trust them. So let's see if I can get in here without getting stung on my hand. I'm not going to use any... oh, that looks like a wasp to me. Wasps, get out of here. Anyway, maybe I'll have to put on my gloves and punish those wasps. But in that top cover, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the granulated sugar, so that way the liquefied sugar doesn't freeze and then shatter and then soak my poor bees in the lower boxes. And the reason why I put them into this contained box on top is because I want to prevent robbing. So, but apparently I'm not doing such a good job on that. So let me go get my, I guess I don't really need to show you guys how I feed them. I moved from the glass to the plastics when it started getting frozen. And now that it's getting deeper and deeper into the freezing season, I'm going to move over to more solid sugars. And then over winter, I'm going to make my honeybee, winter bee kinds after the Dave Burns method. And the thing about those is that those are candy boards, basically suspended over on a top cover. And so if it gets hot like it is today, all that nice candied sugar is probably going to melt. And it's probably going to sag and collapse, and that ain't going to be good. So anyway, so this is what the garden looks like right now. The tomatoes aren't looking very happy or healthy. I probably should have snagged them, pulled all the fruit off, but I didn't. Because, and the asparagus is looking like this. And let's finish up the video on what it looks like inside the greenhouse. So it's pretty hot in here. Pepper plants are still producing. Tomato plants are still producing. If I didn't have my bee suit on, I would eat some of these tomatoes. I'm letting some cover over the top of my bins. So it's like, what, 98 degrees in here? So my glasses are fogging. So, what did it get down to last night? 41 degrees. So good. It's stopping it from getting too cold in here. Okay, everybody. So this is Ken, Vanderwan Gardens, signing off. Have a great day.